The end credits scene for Spider-Man Far From Home certainly gives us an insight into where Marvel Studios might be heading with a lot of characters and as a whole as to where the phase is gonna go. But Nick Fury specifically stands out as someone important within the whole confines of the MCU. Now let's talk about what they might be setting up here. So as the post-credit scene rolls for Far From Home, we of course see the Skrulls. We see Talos, we see his wife, and we realize that there's a form of secret invasion going on here. But just as they're talking, we then end up cutting to Nick Fury, who happens to be up in space. He happens to be up on a spaceship or a space base filled with Skrulls. A lot of discussion and a lot of theories have popped up in regards to what is this, where is he, and what are they setting up. And the prevailing one, and the one that makes the whole, I guess, most amount of sense, would be that this is S.W.O.R.D. Now, S.W.O.R.D. is the spin-off of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, they're pretty recent in the comics, all things considered, considering S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been around for decades. S.W.O.R.D.'s been around for less than a decade, really established as a thing. So, you know, this could be setting up the pieces. Now, at the same time, yeah, people will bring up, okay, S.W.O.R.D., that was an element that Fox owned, but you have to realize that Disney owns Fox now. But at the same time, they never clarify what this base is. So when they were shooting that, even though they didn't own Fox yet, they didn't have to say, yeah, that's S.W.O.R.D., that's guaranteed. They could have just changed it at any time, but like, nah, it's another just random base. But if the pieces all click into place, it would make a lot of sense that that is S.W.O.R.D. And honestly, the way S.H.I.E.L.D. has been dragged through the mud and then formed and then falls apart again and then reformed, then like a splinter group and then reforms again. Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. has kind of a bad reputation considering they were overrun by Hydra as well. So yeah, that's not a good PR image. Now, if you're to reform a new version of it, S.W.O.R.D., run by a bunch of people you trust, headlined by a Avenger like Captain Marvel or somebody overseeing it like that, it makes a lot of sense. So if Nick Fury's out there and he's being the sword to the S.H.I.E.L.D., who's literally trying to figure out all of these cosmic threats out there and what's going on and click all the pieces together so the Avengers can be ahead of the game, it makes a lot of sense. And specifically if they're setting up the secret invasion, because let's be real, that's a huge threat that's not just for Earth, that's galactic based, and that's something that you can really explore.